Coming up, give away your company for your seed round or not. I'm Jay Adelson, and I'm the founder and chairman of Revision 3. I've started and built a number of companies. My goal in this show is to pass on some of the knowledge from my experiences to you, the budding entrepreneurs, and hopefully leave you with some words of wisdom. This episode of AskJay is brought to you by GoDaddy. Today's question comes from Conan in San Jose, California, who asks, what is a convertible note, and why would I choose one over a regular funding round? Well, Conan, it's a common problem right at the beginning of starting a company, choosing how to raise your first money. And I get a lot of entrepreneurs coming to me with this, seemingly obvious conclusion that a convertible note makes more sense than just selling a piece of your company. So let me explain this for a minute. A convertible note means that you're going to be given some money up front, but what the person who gives you the money gets in return for that isn't stock on the first, on day one. It's a promissory note that says that at the time another round of capital, another time you raise money happens, later on, a year later, 6 months later, at that time they get stock with some benefit. So I'll give you an example. SimpleGeo did this, where their very first seed round was a convertible note, so that later on, when they raised their A round of capital, those people who were their angel investors actually got stock in that next round, but at a discount. And what I mean by a discount is it didn't technically cost them as much per share as it did the rest of the A round investors. So this seems to be a really good thing, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs conclude, obviously, it seems to them, that if they don't have to give away any of their company right up front to get their seed capital, it would make sense that they're getting a benefit, because then, if the company does really well and the value skyrockets, that they'll be able to end up giving away a total that's less in the long run at that A round. But it's a little more complicated than that. At the time we started Digg, we actually chose not to do a convertible note. And that was because every time you do a round of capital, it affects the next round, and you have to be thinking long term. So if you do a bunch of convertible notes at a discount, when you go to VCs or whoever to raise your next round of capital, they're going to look at those discounts and say, oh, well, these guys are getting into this round cheaper. It affects the whole deal. Maybe they don't like those terms. Maybe they don't like the implications of that. It creates something to worry about. And the terms of those convertible notes can be different, and it adds more complication. Personally, the way I like to do it is just take a little bit of a hit up front. Keep it simple. Sell a part of your business right up front for that angel capital using something like the Fenwick & West Series Seed documentation that you can download free from their website. And just keep it really clean. Because then your next round, there's no complications, nobody's asking any questions. And frankly, I think more and more angels prefer to invest this way. I know that I think Ron Conway and some of the more well-known angels, Mike Maples, I know these guys have moved in this direction. Mark Andreessen and Andreessen Horowitz have moved in this direction. And so I think you're going to find it to be better for the investors, and also it keeps it simple for you later. Anyway, that's just my opinion. In a minute, I'll give you some hints on how you might choose to go one direction or another. But first, I wanted to thank our sponsor. Get reliable and secure web hosting without the long-term contract with GoDaddy. Hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99.99% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. And for those of you who are on the go, you can download GoDaddy's free iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry app to order right from your phone or manage your current domains. Make sure to use the code AskJay2 for $5 off any order of $30 or more. Okay, so for today's homework assignment, what we want to do is figure out convertible note or traditional round, Series C. Here's the trick. Raising money can often be very difficult. finding angels can be very difficult. So ask the investor what they prefer. I know I'm totally cheating here. I want to give you like some, mathematical formula, but the reality is you should do what the angel wants you to do, because otherwise you're taking a risk that they might not want to work with you or not give you the best terms. So number one, find out what they want. I guess number two, ask yourself this question: do you actually care right now if, what exact percentage, as long as it's low enough, your initial angel investor takes? What difference does it make if they take 2%, 5%, or whatever? I mean, hopefully where you're going to get the most benefit is between that angel round and your A round. And by then it's going to be somewhat marginal, that difference. So go ahead and just put a stake in the ground. Don't be worried about it. In the end, it's going to be noise. And I think that you'll be happy with it. So just make that determination. So ask your angel what it is they think, how they want to invest, and really, secondly, just come up with a number that you think is appropriate and just go with it. And I think you'll be much happier in the end. That's it for today's show. Remember, send us your questions to AskJay@revision3.com or post a video response on YouTube at the Ask Jay Adelson YouTube channel. Or, use my Twitter handle, @Jay Adelson. Love to see questions there as well. And please, don't hesitate to do a video response. I mean, how ugly could you be? Don't worry about it. Just go ahead, get in front of the camera, and let your freak flag fly. I want to see you on YouTube, and we'll try and put it here in the show. So thank you very much, and until next time.